traveler. Hey, what are you doing there? Huh? What are you doing? Alright. Are you having trouble falling asleep? Well, here. Let me do this for you. Let me get you a book. What do we have here? Uh-huh. Oh, that's what we have, huh? A Legend of Sword. This is a classic. You want me to read this to you? Maybe it'll help you fall asleep, huh? Sure. Okay, well, let's begin, shall we? Even if Emperor Cher's ambitions are realized, how will anyone benefit from it? Minister of Defense Francis stared out of the window into space as the galaxies and stars shone gently above her face, their pale white glow flowing softly and slowly down each strand of her hair. She couldn't help but think back to the first time she looked at this ocean of stars through their very window, but she no longer remembered the sense of awe she felt back then. Even her homeland, now hundreds of light years away, had long since become faded and distorted in her memories wherever they surfaced in her dreams. Forgive me speaking out of place, Your Highness, but this war has been dragging on for far too long. We've battled through countless constellations, wiped out tens of millions of lives in all sorts of devious ways, and made ourselves viceroys and envoys of every obscure dreams of reality. Constellations we came across, all in an effort to make Emperor Cher's possibilities and hopes come real. But what has his grand vision brought us? One misfortune after another, and even growing numbers of enemies. They're in every corner of the galaxy now. It's just a matter of time before they swallow us up. My brother's vision is for an empire that will rule for all eternity. One where there is no fear, and where people do not lack for anything. The fate of many will no longer be dedicated by the few, or will be dictated by the few. I'm sorry about that one, traveler. I'm not the best, most literate person, you know. No one will enjoy a higher status than anybody else, and even incompetence will no longer be seen as a crime. And so, it is inevitable that those who cannot comprehend this grand vision are doomed to be swept aside. This is their fate. Princess Geppetta shook her head and spoke with a gentle yet cold tone. It seems as if the intergalactic anti-guerrilla war had robbed her of more than just one of her eyes and one of her arms. Because when Francis looked at her, she did not see the joyful young woman she once knew. I trust in your brother's decision. We would not act out of mere self-interest. So please, even though it is you, don't say such things again in the future. Don't speak the words that sow doubt. Volume 2. Surely even an armada consisting entirely of ISDA-class warships would have a tough job making a dent in defense as watertight as this one. Admiral Geldefried's overconfidence in the greatest technological marvel of the Empire meant that she was completely unaware that the rebels, at that very moment, closing in on the fatal weakness of the base, the mighty star fortress Anerschwan, designed personally by Princess Geppetta and named by Emperor Cher, was now nothing more than a fragile egg before the rebel fleet, and Mother Hen was far away from the nest. Bastineau deftly navigated the lash clipper through the intricate and winding ventilation system, weaving between jets of poisonous gas and elemental clouds, shooting out from holes in the walls while trying to shake the automatic mechanical sentries on his tail. His eyes and ears filled with blood, and the scene before him merged into a continuous blur of color and light as the clipper shot ahead at a breathtaking speed. Now's my chance, so thought Bastanu to himself as the propulsion system's energy core came gradually into view. It's time. So that our Admiral Geldefried, alright, however you say it, to herself as she gazed at the flashing sphere of light in the planet's orbit. Then she gave the order to launch an indiscriminate assault on the planet. Then Bastanu launched a fatal attack on the fortress core. Oh, what? I would give to see the look of Princess Geppetta's face right now. So thought both to themselves, separately, but identically, in the brief moment. Chapter 3. 10 years earlier. 25 light years away. With a nation under the rule of Saruga Shogunate, cries of anguish filled the streets as the people suffered bitterly. At that time, Saruga Shogunate was led by the Saitai Shogun, Imagawa Ujinzane. 4 years prior, after finally beheading the demon king Danjutsu, the Tai Shogun's own reign of terror began. It was in this time and place that our free and unrestrained swordmaster wandered the land. His name was Bichu Kyubei, and he was known to the people as Shinkuru, the Vigilante. Bichu Kyubei was not a ronin as such. It is said that he was once the most trusted strategist for His Excellency the Tai Shogun. Until one day he was framed by a rival. Given the Shogun's paranoid nature, this left him with no choice but to flee the Shogunate and escape into the wilderness. Today, Shinkuro was standing on a mountainside gazing into the distance. But what was the object of his gaze? Was it the vast expanse of open fields? No. Was it the mountain range in the distance? No. Was it the road stretching out ahead of time? Yes. Although, that's not the full story. So, what was the object of Shinkuro's gaze exactly? The farmers, who had said the swordsman in rice for his services, cowered in fear, too afraid to ask. It seems that only the silent swordsman himself knows the answer to this question. Oh. You don't want to continue on to the next one? You look like you're falling asleep there, huh? Shh. You look very precious there, traveler. I hope you're enjoying your time in Inazuma. Do you mind if I get next to you and lay down with you? It's pretty chilly out. Thanks. Your hair is very soft, you know that? Here, come here. Oh, look at you, blushing at Arataki Itto like everyone else, huh? Alright, I see you. There you go. You sleep well, traveler. You're already falling asleep. I don't even know if you can hear me anymore. Good night, traveler. You sleep well now.